So in light of everything that has happened, some lawmakers are wondering, should anyone have access to semi-automatic assault rifles and high-capacity ammo magazines? According to the Second Amendment, every American has the right to bear arms, of course, but Chicago Alderman Moreno thinks there is no reason for the general public to have access to these weapons. He says he hasn't heard a single argument to convince him otherwise. So now maybe he is here to disagree with me. It is Chicago Alderman Moreno. And Joe, why do you think banning these particular weapons would solve the problem?
Well, I don't think it's a panacea, Melissa, that it's going to solve everything. But let's be really fair and be very honest and maybe perhaps unemotional about this argument, which is a very emotional argument. You have no solid reason that semi-automatic and high magazine capacity bullets are needed in our society. And if we take a look at the tragedy that happened in Connecticut, the accessibility that gentleman had, or I couldn't even call him a gentleman, that criminal had to these kinds of weapons is why we had such a tragedy out there. And I have not heard one solid, reasonable argument that I may disagree with, but not even a reasonable argument on why we should continue to manufacture and sell these types of weapons.
Well, you know, you make an argument that a lot of people make that having assault rifles out there or, having magazines with so many bullets in them increases the body count, when something like this happens. But if you look at the total number of gun homicides per year, we went back and we looked at the time during the assault weapon ban from 1994 to 2004 and saw there were 9,983 gun homicides per year on average in that period. Since the time when the ban was lifted from 2005 to 2011, the number of gun homicides per year has actually gone down, 9,528 as the average. So you looked at a 10-year period as compared to a 6-year period. Am I correct? No, it was an average over that period of time. They've gone down.
Right. Well, let's wait another 4 years and see if that average is still there. And regardless of the other societal problems that we have, which are mental health facilities, I would agree with, that are desperately in need to be increased, and that we're talking about violence in video games and violence in movies and et cetera. That can't replace the discussion about what is fair and reasonable gun control in our country. And I would even say, as these travesties continue to happen, we might not even be talking about gun control. We're talking about, trying to massacre protection, quite frankly. And I will go head to head with anyone that gives me a solid argument on why we need to keep these guns.
No, I mean, this isn't a normal disagree with me
Melissa.
Hang on. This isn't a normal disagree with me that we generally do, because this is, normally we have fun, and this is a very serious topic where we are talking. I mean, there's another shooting that happened today, and we both would like to see these things not happen. It's just a question of, does it become a slippery slope when you start infringing on the Second Amendment? I mean, for example, the shooting that happened just a few hours ago in California, so far the reports show that was someone with a shotgun. So it's like not even a gun that we're talking about wouldn't have impacted that at all.
Sure.
So I don't know if we're attacking the right problem. It seems like it's really about mental health. Maybe it's about school safety. I don't know that guns don't kill people. People kill people. It doesn't seem like we start with the guns.
I get tired of that. I get so tired of that trite saying, though, and that's the problem. And I'll put it this way. You say that, why are we going to infringe on the Second Amendment? Well, we already do. You cannot go out and get the Second Amendment talks about, the right to bear arms.
Then it seems like it's not helping.
And
if we've already done it, it's not working.
We don't have people shooting rocket launchers at schools. We don't have people throwing grenades into big office buildings. We don't have people rolling up in tanks. Those things are not accessible. All right? We've decided as a society that they should not be accessible, even though they're arms.
But when you look at the people,
and what 50,
okay, hang on. Wait, we each get a turn here, and it's my show. But when you look at the people who have been bent on killing in these situations, I feel like if they didn't have rifles, they would have made a homemade bomb. I mean, there are people that are really mentally unstable who are bent on causing death and destruction. They would find a way to do it no matter what weapon there was. Go ahead, I'll let you have the last word.
I don't disagree with that point, but what I agree with is, what do they have accessible to them? In the terrible shooting in Connecticut, if you had a slingshot, we'd be talking about a couple broken windows and maybe a bump on the head. If you had a rocket launcher, maybe we'd be talking about a school that was shot with that. I mean, my point is, we already restrict arms. And I think where we need to have the serious debate, and where 57% of Americans agree with me, Melissa, in a recent CBS poll, is that these type of weapons need not be part of our society.
Okay. Joe, thanks for coming on. Really serious topic, and we appreciate your thoughts on it.
Thank you, Melissa.
Time now for